Hi and welcome to part 4 of this video on feminism and gender for our Love Through the Ages topic. Continuing on from the previous video, we're now going to look at our comparative analysis table. As you can see, the items from our checklist are on the left hand side of the table, and I've put the poem that we looked at and the piece of prose that we looked at side by side. So firstly, we need to take a look at comparing the forms. The poem is obviously in the form of a sonnet, and it's unusually not a love poem. The Awakening is a novel or prose, and it takes the form of a Bildungsroman. We then look at structure and language. We see that both of them explore female sexuality, so that is a difference. Sorry, that is a similarity. The differences are that the poem uses rhyme and the turn for emphasis. It's very typical of the sonnet. It uses sarcasm to mock the idea that women are fragile. It also uses the language of reasoned argument. Our novel has an awareness of feminism. It talks about society's expectations of women and talks about the relative danger of becoming independent and uses a lot of sea imagery. We then take a look at how our writers approach the theme. Similarly, they both emphasise the struggle between body and instinct and independence and the mind. However, in our poem it's in terms of sex, and in our novel it's in terms of motherhood. In our poem, the theme is treated with sarcasm and irony, and in our novel, the theme is treated as one person's complex struggle with independence, and there are a few moments of sarcasm, which is a similarity. We then take a look at some of the contexts. Both actually were writers known for being nonconformist and defiant of normative gender roles. Our poem was written by an American bisexual pacifist poet, and our novel would have been quite shocking at the time, and the idea of female sexuality wasn't really a thing during this time. Then we look at the era or time that it was written in. Our poem mocks society at the time and the belief that women were fragile and fell in love easily. It also was written around the time of World War I, or just after World War I actually. Our novel went against the strong beliefs about a woman's place in society, especially in the American South, where Kate Chopin actually lived. So now we're going to go through my potential essay structure. There are many different ways to structure an essay of this type, but this is how I would go about approaching questions such as this. It's important to say that this is just a skeleton of how I would write this essay, and I've only included one poem, but in the real exam you really need to expand your argument and add more points about other poems from the anthology.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're looking for an amazing A-level English literature resource, join me today in my series of engaging bite-sized video tutorials. Together, we will concisely cover all the important concepts required by your exam board specification, as well as practically apply what we have learnt through exam-style questions, focusing on how best to structure your answers in order to maximise marks. See you soon, and together, let's make A-level English literature a walk in the park.